It's been a tumultuous first 10 days for the Trump administration, but the dust-ups over his cabinet appointments and even the controversy involving his so-called immigration ban are going to pale in comparison to the fight that's brewing and begins in earnest tomorrow morning. That's because tonight at 8 o'clock, the president is going to announce his choice to fill the seat vacated by the death of the late, great Antonin Scalia on the United States Supreme Court. And because the Supreme Court touches so much of everyday life and has such extensive power, and the person that fills this seat will have the opportunity to shape the philosophy of that court for a generation or more, the stakes are as high as they possibly could be. The betting money right now is on Neil Gorsuch from the Circuit Court of Appeals based in Denver, Colorado. But in a very close second position is Thomas Hardiman from the Third Circuit Court of Appeals based here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. As a Pennsylvanian, I have a soft spot in my heart for Judge Hardiman, a solid conservative called by Leonard Leo one of the icons of conservative legal thought, an extraordinarily talented and smart judge. He also would be one of a very few Pennsylvanians to ascend to the high court, the most recent being the great Robert Jackson, famous for his prosecution of the Nuremberg war trials, and before that, Owen J. Roberts, who was the only Republican on the court, non-FDR appointee during the Second World War. There's also the outside possibility that the president could go with William Pryor, a favorite of conservatives from the 11th Circuit in Atlanta, Georgia, or with a judge who hasn't yet been named. But Gorsuch and Hardiman tend to be the frontrunners right now. Interestingly, Hardiman has the support of President Trump's sister, who served on the Third Circuit with him once upon a time. But any judge that's nominated by President Trump tonight is going to be opposed by Chuck Schumer and his pals in the Democratic caucus. That's really unfortunate, but we'll get to that in a moment. The question is, can the threatened filibuster that they're talking about actually succeed? No Supreme Court nomination has ever been effectively blocked by a filibuster. And so that would be history-making in and of itself. Harry Reid, a couple of years ago, changed the rules for the way judges to lower courts are nominated and confirmed by eliminating the so-called 60-vote rule. He says he now regrets that. Republicans are talking about the possibility of going to a nuclear option themselves in order to break a filibuster. They might live to regret that as well. I hope that it's more likely that there will be a number of Democrats who will see the judge on his or her merits and vote for them, or that there may be some from that select group of 10 senators who are in states won by Donald Trump and who are up for election in 2018. There's a point of real leverage in the fight that's yet to come. It's interesting to note that the judge, I'm calling him Justice already, Judge Hardiman was confirmed 95-0, and I think Judge Gorsuch won on a voice vote. That's going to make it a little embarrassing, you would think, for Mr. Schumer and Ms. Feinstein, the ranking member of the Judiciary Committee, but I don't think it'll slow them down. It's going to be a heated battle, and it's just beginning. And that's the best 60 seconds of your week.